Good morning. On this week's edition of Tea and Tarot, I'm taking requests. On the show this week, no jokes, no anecdotes, no thoughts about life, the universe and everything, just me taking requests. And I thought I'd be a bit of a devil today. I thought I'd answer some questions that I'm usually a bit reticent about answering. I sometimes do live readings on Facebook, and it can be a bit like walking a tightrope. You know, you're very much on show, you're very visible to the millions, and you rather hope you're going to get it right. So it involves a lot of concentration, and you're not in the same room as the people. You can't actually see the people you're reading for. You just get their comments. And so it's quite demanding, and it involves quite a lot of concentration. And in those circumstances, there are some questions that I find a bit too delicate and a bit too difficult to answer, and so I politely decline. So today I'm going to dive in and try answering the difficult questions too, and we'll just see what comes up. First question. Okay, we have a question from Michelle C. Michelle writes, I'd love a reading. I'm currently conflicted, and regarding relationship, should I stay with what I know or choose adventure? Well, Michelle hasn't actually told me whether staying with what she knows means not having a relationship, or whether staying what she knows means one relationship and adventure means a different one. But I will answer the question in the terms in which it was asked. And Michelle, the bells have started to ring as I start to shuffle the cards for you. That can't be a bad thing. Different format today. We have the camera on the table, so it's very live. And for the first time on the show, I'm using the Golden Universal deck. Deep breath. Should Michelle C. stay with what she knows or choose adventure? Michelle, for the first option, stay with what you know, I'm going to give you a triad up here. And for the second option, choose adventure, I'm going to give you a triad down here. And then we'll just see which one we like the look of more. Deep breath, cut the cards. Okay, well, Michelle, that is, wow, rather thrilling. These cards signify staying with what you know. Let me move them down a bit. We have the top triad, stay with what you know, and the bottom triad, go for adventure. And you have two kings in the center of each triad. So you have King of Cups, stay with what you know, King of Swords, choose adventure. What I would say is that I invite you, Michelle, to just meditate on these things. I think if you were in the room with me, we could really go into it a bit further. But they both look fine to me. Stay with what you know has a reversed world card in it, and the reversed world card does have this feeling of incompletion. It doesn't feel quite complete at the moment, okay? On the other hand, I would point out that stay with what you know, it has an Ace of Batons in it. An Ace of Batons is a card of beginnings. It's a card of great energy, it's a card of passion, it's a card of goals, desires. I knew a wonderful psychic in Brighton who used to turn round reverse cards when she felt like it. If you could turn round this card and feel complete in the situation where you are now, then that would be gorgeous. Okay, say you can't, and say you decide to choose adventure. I see the King of Swords for you here. You know, you're choosing between cups and swords. The King of Cups is probably, well, a more emotional sort of person, but because his throne is on the water, he can be a bit distant sometimes, a bit difficult to get through to. The King of Swords, on the other hand, is someone who is very active. He's fairly in his mind, but he has great qualities. He's a peacemaker, and he's very much in control of his life. And on either side of King of Swords, you have Two of Cups and Three of Cups, which really, there's a lot of pleasure and a lot of joy there. The Two of Cups really is the love card, and the Three of Cups is the celebration card. So, Michelle, what can I say? It looks like either choice could be absolutely lovely. Toss a coin. If you can make where you are feel complete, I would stay there. We don't know how much mileage there is in the adventure. If this felt complete, I would say there would be quite a lot of mileage in this one. I would choose this one, but only you can tell how serious the feeling of incompletion is. Adine B writes, I'd love reading, how does the boy I like feel about me? Well, interestingly enough, this is a question I normally don't answer because it involves looking into the mind of someone else, a third person who isn't in the room and who hasn't been consulted. But then this is a kind of an extreme version of tea and tarot. So let's answer that and just see how it feels. Adine, let's shuffle the cards and see. I'm going to draw 3 cards, one for you, one for the boy, and one for the possible connection between you two. Adine, that's rather interesting. This is your card. That's the card of the boy you like. And that's the card of the possible connection. We have 2 queens, the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords. Now, cups are water and swords are air. Let's look at this entirely elementally. Let's look at this in terms of water and air. How does air feel about water? And I'm going to read to you from Mary K. Greer's book, Understanding the Tarot Chord. Mary K. Greer says, these cards are not totally comfortable with each other. My feeling is that if you have a reversed 2 of Pentacles in the 3rd position, representing the relationship or the possibility of the relationship, it feels somehow as if the energy is not moving. It feels that there isn't exchange. It feels that there isn't business, as people sometimes say. I would advise being active in this situation. I would advise trying to get the communication here moving, trying to get things moving between you and this boy. Don't wait for him to tell you his feelings. Test the waters out, prod a little bit, see if you can get things moving. And if you can't, it may be that you're just sort of equal and complementary, and there isn't enough movement in the energy between you two. Okay. Dimitrula T says, hello, lovely Robert. Thank you, Dimitrula. I'd love to know if finally I'll get pregnant until summer. Okay, so I'm going to just say, I'd love to know if finally I will get pregnant by the summer, okay? And Dimitrula says, the idea with the video is very good. Thank you. Let's see what we can see for you, Dimitrula. Dimitrula, what we're going to do is we're going to use this extraordinary international icon deck, and I'm going to take out the Wheel of Fortune, and we're going to do a gypsy yes, no and timing spread for you. Again, it's a bit naughty to ask the tarot cards to be so specific about timings, but let's just answer all the questions. That's what I'm here for, isn't it, really? Will Dimitrula get pregnant by summer? And this is an 8-card reading that will give some idea of timing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I insert the Wheel of Fortune, I shuffle, and I cut. Yes, no, by summer. More specifically, soon or with delays. It's not a straight yes. Ah, there's the Wheel of Fortune. So we can stop there and we can read these 2 cards. The Wheel of Fortune is there in the soon position, You will get pregnant soon. And we have a reversed Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is the low point in the cycle, in whatever cycle it might be. And the implication of the reversed Ten of Swords is that you're past the worst and you're past the disappointments and things are now going to start getting better. So I'm going to be brave, Dimitrula, and say congratulations, enjoy the loveliness of that. Jessica C. says, will I receive a lucrative full-time job within the next 6 months? Well, I like your style, Jessica. That's a question for someone who deserves abundance. You want it to be full-time and lucrative. Normally, I would say, well, let's take it all down a bit, but let's answer the question in the terms in which it was asked. Let's use this highly antiqued Pam's vintage deck for you here, and we'll just see whether I can give you a yes or whether you're going to have to hang in there. Jessica, the cards are looking very good for you. It's a clear yes. You have 4 upright out of 5. You have a Magician, which is very much the card of capability, surging ahead. You have the Emperor, which is the card of moving ahead and making things happen. It's always complicated with a new job. You're going to be tempted. Maybe you might be tempted by another offer, which may offer you more money. The Devil is a temptation card, and it does refer to the simpler desires like money. I noticed that you mentioned lucrative in your question, and it may be that you might need to just let go of that desire for the best paid job here to get the most suitable job. Keep your eyes open and keep your wits about you, and maybe you might even get to more than one job offer. Radmilla S. asks, hello, I would like to know, please, will we be lucky to buy a home soon? And she says, good luck with your YouTube channel. Well, again, the spirit guides aren't very good at timings, but we're answering questions today, so I'm going to see if I can answer that question for you, Radmilla. And the answer is yes, no, soon, delays. We're looking for the Wheel of Fortune, Radmilla. That's what we want. We haven't found it in the first 3 quadrants, so it must be here. So, Radmilla, the message of the cards is hang on in there. It may not be the right time for you. We do have one card here to help you read, which is the 5 of Pentacles. It's a reversed 5 of Pentacles. And I would say that the good news is that when you do buy your home, it is going to signal the end of a whole period of financial worries. But soon, no, I don't see it happening soon. I think you just have to try to focus on other areas of your life and look forward to it being very special when it happens. You have been watching Robert Farrah's Tea and Tarot. Hope you're enjoying the crisp, cold weather. Next week, I'll be back with more of this stuff, and my video will include my reading for the month of April. Bye now.